Good day, dear colleagues. I would also like to thank the organizers for the invitation and the opportunity to take part in such a scale event. And my presentation, I would like to devote to the issue on how the green agenda is inbuilt into the digitalization processes and whether it, it may be built in these processes. We have to put on your presentation. Okay. The next slide, please. I would like to identify three questions. The global digital trends, how they influence the green agenda and the processes of digitalization. In the area of green economy, what are the mechanisms, financial mechanisms exist, and how the Russian market behaves related to ESG investment. What are the conditions where technological changes are taking place? Yes, certainly we are thinking positively and try to confirm that they are going to happen. But in 2023, there was the decrease of investments into the technological processes by McKinsey. Well, it's clear that the companies want to reduce their costs, etc. But the IT market potential growth is still very high. How we can combine these things? In the first place, I would like to identify the global trends in the focus of McKinsey attention. The revolution of artificial intellect, the affirmation of digital future. Please look at the fifth point, the sustainable world, the green agenda, which is there and develops the digitalization trend. Further on, if we look at the key trends which influence the companies directly by Gartner, then we can see that apart from the main directions as the common use of digital technologies, digital applications, meta universe, etc., etc. We can see the sustainable business as well. And the last polls of Gartner show that 42% of managers currently use the tools in the field of sustainable development for stimulation of innovations, for differentiation, for the growth of their businesses. And another interesting thing, the key trend, democratization of technologies. This approach allows the employees which are not related to IT, implementing and adopting their own technologies. And according to the focus, in the future, 95% of all the new technological solutions will be supplied by non-traditional customers apart from IT, just by the industrial companies, which will allow building new relations on this market. How the put on of these highly technological processes is possible. In this case, we can see that the green agenda is becoming more and more popular. It leads to the growth of the demand in technological developed industries, and it's more often used by the companies. Green bonds, materials and energy solutions are actively used by the companies, and the interest is there on the part of the larger investment organizations, and here you can see in which way this interest is distributed to these green obligations. The potential of the growth of a new but very promising instrument, green bonds. What is this? These are the bonds which correspond to the principles, standards, and criteria in the field of green financing. Their appearance is related with the principles of sustainable development. The green bonds fund the projects related to the improvement of environmental situation, and they are one of the types of ESG bonds, like social bonds, the bonds related to the sustainable development. These are all the instruments for funding. But what can be noticed here? In the first place, due to the high demand for green bonds, the rates on them are lower than on other debt papers, bonds. This allows to reduce the cost of debts, of investments for the companies who are concerned about the environment. And the company thus can fulfill the obligations, not breaking any requirements, and helps to improve the green situation. But the nature of this instrument is rather contradictory and is related to a number of obstacles or the mechanisms which slow down the work. On the one hand, the green bonds are certified by the third parties, and thus the new issuers are, well, it's very expensive. On the other hand, the incomes from green bonds are designed for green projects, but the bonds themselves are provided by the balance of the issuing organization. And it leads to the huge amount of risks. But what market tells us? If we look at the market of these sustainable bonds, in 2022, we can see the dynamics of the issuing of these bonds in this way. That is, we see the growing trend of the green bonds, the same as the ESG growing trend. At the same time, in this segment for sustainable development, we can see the power of the green bonds, which is being acquired. What is the secret, and what this positive dynamics is related to? Rather raw ground for their application in the developing countries, but we can compare these positive the dynamics with the advantages of this positive tool. The first one is the high motivation. Unfortunately, we are short in time, a couple of minutes. The main problems existing there. Okay, then we take the next slide. The dynamics of accumulation of capital in the environmental projects shows very wild growth in the environmental projects. We also can see how the number of deals in the sector of green bonds grows and decreases in another sector, and an interesting slide showing the interest of raw materials companies towards the green bonds. that is the distribution over the economy sectors, where the green assets and green tools in traditional segments of economy and also over Russia. What is happening in Russia? How the Russian market behaves. It behaves perfectly, and I can say that there is a fact that in 2021 there were some ESG instruments issued, and we can identify certain players. You can see them on this slide. The sphere of investments, of green investments in wind energy. Further on, the tools which are sold on the foreign sites are also available on our market, those which are not cancelled by the sanctions. The risk of investment is high, and the investors try to get rid of these investments. But for Russia, internal situation in Russia is a positive trend. We have to form the ESG instruments use spheres, details, and identify the issuers. Coming back to our sector for Moscow Stock Exchange, you can see that the government of Moscow, Sberbank, Kamaz, and so on. And all these projects are devoted to technological renewal. And briefly, some conclusions. It became possible due to the factors of stimulation on behalf of the government. It became possible due to regulation in the field of climate change, and also due to the renewal of the financial instruments on the financial market and development of the market of green investment. The potential of technological changes is obvious, in my opinion. Thank you for your attention.